Good morning and welcome to your class. Today's class is almost an hour and we'll focus on the upper body, building into our strength and mobility within the shoulders, the chest, the upper back. As always, take some modifications or challenge yourself as you feel ready for today. And we'll go ahead and get started seated on the mat. You can come into a nice easy sit, cross-legged, or if you want to join me sitting on your heels, that'll work just fine. Come to the center of the mat, close the eyes, and let the hands just rest gently in your lap. Palms up. We start to move our focus onto our breath. Noticing as we start our practice whether our breath feels contained, if we would allow ourselves to lengthen our inhales and our exhales. Feel the body drop down into relaxation. Bring your focus to your neck and your upper shoulders. As we begin, how do they feel? Are they tight? Maybe with the next breath, you can allow the shoulders to drop just a little bit further away from the ears. Inhale, allowing space in the spine. Exhale, feeling the neck growing perhaps a little bit taller. Be mindful of your breath during your practice and always return to it and pull your focus to avoid any distraction. When your brain wants to pull you towards the challenges in your day or during your practice, remind yourself that you showed up. Congratulate yourself on your achievements. You're here and you're making the effort. Very good. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and gently open them. Make your way into a tabletop position. Shoulders directly above the wrists and the knees are in line with the hips. Separate the knees out until they're about hip width apart. And from here, we're going to just start with a few cat and cows. And inhale, drop the belly, gaze lifts up. Exhale, rounding through the upper back, drawing in the belly button, gaze goes between the toes. Inhale, dropping the belly. Exhale, tucking in the tailbone. Continue doing a few more of these at your own pace. Ending on an exhale in your cat pose. From cat, return to a neutral tabletop. In your tabletop, we'll start with balancing table. Inhale, the left leg extends. Toes are pointed, hips remain level. And bring the right arm alongside the right ear. Root down firmly into that left hand, balancing the weight between both sides of the body. Extending long from fingers to toes. On your next inhale, we'll bend the left knee and draw the right arm back to reach for the left ankle. And this is a little bit of a balance challenge. If you need to make it more accessible, widen the right knee out to the side, and you can make your base wider for better balance. From here, we'll exhale, push into that left foot, drawing open the right shoulder and opening up the chest. Left shins pushing back towards the wall. We're still drawing in our abdomens. Inhale, exhale, release the right hand and the left leg down. And we'll try that on the opposite side, beginning with our balancing table pose. Inhale, the right leg goes up. Left arm extends. Finding your stability here in the pose. You can continue to stay here or start to draw that left arm back to reach the right ankle this time. On an exhale, push back. Opening up the left shoulder, stretching into that front body on the left side. Exhale, release. Left hand comes down. On the next inhale, draw the right hand up to the sky, rotating the spine. Gaze comes up to the right fingertips. Exhale, right hand comes underneath the left shoulder for Parshva Ear comes to the mat. Gaze comes slightly to the sky. Pushing into that mat with the left hand and stretching open the back side of your right shoulder. On an exhale, push up into that left hand. Inhale, opening up the right hand to the sky and returning it back to the mat. Left side, left arm comes up to the sky on an inhale. Exhale, the left hand underneath the right shoulder. Resting the head on the left ear and pushing into the mat, using the force of the right hand into the mat and also the left arm, the forearm and the upper arm pushing into that mat to open up the back side of your left shoulder. Exhale, pushing into the mat. Inhale, opening up the left hand to the sky, and then bring it back down until you're in a neutral tabletop position again. From here, we'll push back into our downward dog. First downward dog of the sequence. Take a moment. Aim the sit bones to the sky. Lengthen out through the backside of the body. Maybe pedal the feet a little bit here. Really rooting into all of your fingertips, all four corners of the feet. from downward dog, go ahead and take just small steps and we'll walk to the front of our mat. Inhale, halfway's lift. Exhale, forward fold. We'll just hang here for a moment. Maybe it's your first forward fold of the day. You can bend the knees deeply. Allow the stomach to rest against the upper thighs. Let the head hang. On your next inhale, come up to a halfway's lift. On the exhale, we'll lower back down again, bending from the hips, this time taking our peace fingers and wrapping them around the big toes. And here we'll do our big toe pose and draw our chest towards our shins, pulling with our arms on those toes to give us an even deeper forward stretch. Pressing the toes into the fingers, pulling yourself down with your hands, and yet aiming those sit bones towards the sky. Forces in opposition here. We're pulling and we're also pushing upward with our sit bones, stretching out the hamstrings. And the next inhale, lengthen. And exhale, we'll come back down into that big toe pose once more. Inhale, halfway's lift. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms come all the way up to the top, arching the back in mountain with a small back bend here. Exhale, back to a neutral. On your next inhale, we're going to twist to the right, opening up the right hand. The right palm goes to the back of the room. Gaze comes to the right. Exhale, arms raise again in neutral. Inhale, opening up to the left-hand side. Exhale, back to neutral. A couple more times. Inhale, right. Gaze comes up, arms come up. Inhale, opening up to the left. Inhale, back to your mountain pose. Hands come back to through center. And from this pose, bring the hands up. Exhale, forward bend. Halfway's lift. And then exhale, step the feet back into your plank. We're going to hold here in our plank pose, and we'll hold for about 15 to 20 seconds. Long enough to find a good form in our plank, pushing back with the heels, engaging through the center line of the body. The thighs are engaged, lifting up through that midline. The upper back is just slightly rounded as you feel the shoulders widen and draw down the back. Using the palms to push yourself away through the mat. Inhale. Exhale. A couple more deep breaths here. On the next exhale, we're going to move through Chaturanga. Your knees can come to the mat. And lower all the way down to your mat. Hands come just slightly in front of the shoulders and push up into your high cobra. Feet are spread wide and open on the mat. Thighs are pushing down. Drawing the elbows in towards the side. They are slightly bent in high cobra. Feeling a nice arc throughout the thoracic body. Taking nice, deep, gentle breaths here. One more inhale, exhale, lower down into our baby cobra. In our baby cobra, you'll feel the difference here as we start to take some of the weight out of our hands. If you're able to, maybe even lifting them off of the mat. And you'll feel the back engage even more and open up in this pose. I find sometimes low cobra to be even more challenging than high cobra just because of all the upper back body muscle engagement. You can feel them really working here. Inhale from low cobra, back into your high cobra. Very good. From high cobra, push up into your plank. Inhale, exhale, downward dog. From downward dog, inhale up to the top of the mat. Halfway's lift. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, arms rise up to mountain. Bending back just slightly. Exhale, back to neutral. Inhale, the arms come back into a cactus shape. In your mountain here, opening up the chest, feel the shoulder blades draw and engage down the center of the back. Exhale, arms come back up to the sky. From here, we're going to do a few sun salutations. If you want, just give the arms a little rest, a little shake out. And we'll get moving and warming up the body even more. Arms lift and exhale, lower. Inhale, halfway's lift. Exhale, you can step or jump back to your plank pose. Drop down into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale into your downward dog. From downward dog, either step or jump to the top of the mat. And exhale, fold. Inhale, arms come up. That's one. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway's lift. Exhale, step or jump to the back of the mat. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, step or jump to the top of the mat. And lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway's lift. Exhale, step or jump to the back of the mat. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, stepping up to the top of the mat. Folding over the legs. Inhale, back up to mountain. One more. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale up to halfway's lift. Exhale, place the hands on the mat. Step or jump back. Chaturanga lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. And step your way back up to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms up to the sky. And lower down. From here, we're going to make our ways back to a downward facing dog. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Halfway's lift. And step back. Skip the chaturanga this time. Just push back into your downward dog. In downward dog, we're going to just do a couple of asanas here in downward facing dog. First, find your balance and your equilibrium here in your down dog. The weight evenly distributed between the hands and the feet. Pushing into all four corners of the feet, really feeling your hands grip into the mat. Got a ponytail that wants to just fight me today. One nice deep inhale and exhale here. On the next inhale, we're going to twist our dog and draw the right hand to reach the outside of the left ankle. Take that left ankle and draw yourself underneath the left armpit. Push firmly into the mat with the left hand to allow yourself to open. Inhale, exhale back to downward dog. We'll do that on the opposite side. This time firmly pressing into the right hand and drawing the left hand to the outside of the left ankle. Grabbing that ankle and pulling yourself underneath the right shoulder. Inhale and exhale back to downward dog. From downward dog, inhale the right foot to the sky, toes pointed. We're now in a three-legged dog. One nice inhale and exhale. You can stay here, or if you would like to try for a balance and a strength challenge, shift the weight slightly over to the right as you bend the right knee and draw the right heel towards your buttocks. From here, maybe just gracefully glide the left hand along to the mat and perhaps take a hold of that right foot. Pushing strongly with the arms, take an inhale. Exhale, return yourself back to downward dog. Maybe walking it out a little bit, and we'll try that on the opposite side as well. Inhale, the left foot rises, toes pointed. Exhale, draw the left heel to the right bottom. And from here, maybe shifting the weight to the left hand a little bit more and drawing the right hand around the outside of the mat. If you can, pick it up. Maybe it comes off the ground an inch or two. Maybe taking a hold of that left foot. It can be a challenge. Some days it happens for you, some days it doesn't. Go ahead and push back, exhale into your downward facing dog. Walk the knees here in your downward facing dog. And from here, we're going to draw the right foot towards the top of the mat for a crescent lunge on the right side. Arms come alongside the ears, lower down, pushing into that back heel, dropping into that front knee. Knee should be directly above the ankle. Inhale, open up to warrior two. The left foot turns out maybe around 45 degrees or so, just as long as you're not feeling any torque or tension on that back knee. Inhale, drop down into your warrior two even lower. On the next inhale, rise up and spin the toes around so that they are pointed at the long edge of the mat. Arms stay long. Chest opens and draw the shoulders back. You're in your star pose. Take a minute here. From star, we're going to turn the toes out to about a 10 and 2 position and drop down into goddess. Hands can come to the thighs. In our goddess pose, we're going to do a little shoulder stretch. Drop the right shoulder towards the center line of the body. Gaze coming over the left side. Inhale back to center and do that on the left side, dropping the left shoulder over, looking back behind you. Inhale center, exhale to the left. Inhale center and exhale rights. Inhale center, one more on the left side will make it a good one. Inhale center. From here, push up, push through those heels, extend the hands long again. You're back in your 5-pointed star. From star, turn that foot to the 45-degree angle. The right foot points toward the top edge of the mat, and we lower into our warrior 2 pose. From warrior 2, inhale warrior 1. Hands come alongside the ears, engaging that back thigh. Hold here in warrior 1. Inhale, the arms come back behind you. Clasp the hands. Draw the hands down. Take a nice inhale here, opening up through the chest. On the exhale, I want you to drop the torso down towards the inside of that right knee. Maybe even bringing that right shoulder in, allowing the head to drop and the hands to come overhead. On the next inhale, lift up, turn your torso so that it's directly over the right bent leg. Open up the hands and release, turning the back foot so that we're into our low lunge on the right side. The back leg stays lifted. From here, we're going to push our right foot and meet the left leg. We're in plank pose. In your plank, set up for your side plank by rolling onto the outer edge of the right foot and pushing into the right hand. Hips lift. You can stay here. If you would like to change it for your body today, you can lower down the right leg and use it as a kickstand for support. Otherwise, stay on the outside edge of the feet and press. If you want a further challenge, you can lift that left leg to the sky. Maybe for a balance challenge, draw that left leg in, take hold of the big toe, and extend to the sky. Inhale here, exhale, slowly release, and as gracefully as you can, come back into a plank pose. From plank, go ahead and vinyasa down, Chaturanga, push up, inhale, upward dog, exhale, downward facing dog. From down dog, draw the right foot in, knee to chest, bring that heel as close as you can to your body, and till you can bring the foot all the way through between the hands, and we're back to low lunge. In low lunge, take the hands and put them about 6 inches in front of the feet. Press up into the right foot. Inhale, exhale, bring that right foot to the sky. You're in your standing splits. Take another inhale, exhale, maybe grab that right shin with your hand and draw yourself in. Raising the foot to the sky. It doesn't need to come very high. We just want to stay engaged in that back leg. On the next inhale, softly lower that back foot far back on the mat. Inhale, come up, and you're in Crescent Lunge. Exhale in the pose. Inhale, warrior two. Back foot turns out. Arms extend long. Gaze comes out in front of the right hand. Windmill the arms down. Lower into your low lunge. Step the right foot back, and we'll do our vinyasa, lowering down. Coming to our upward dog. Exhale into our downward dog. We'll do that all on the left side. This time, lift the left foot up, draw it to the top of the mat, in between the hands. Inhale, crescent lunge on the right side, left side. And exhale, lower. Tailbone is slightly tucked. Feeling the hip flexor stretch on the right side. Inhale, open up to warrior two on the left side. Pushing into the outside edge of that right foot. We tend to forget to keep our back leg active in these poses because that front quadricep is really talking to us right now. Inhale, press up. Point both of your toes to the long edge of the right side of your mat, and the arms extend long. We're in 5-pointed star. Draw the shoulders together at your back, and open up the chest. Inhale, exhale, turn the toes out to about 10 and 2, and we'll drop down into our goddess pose. From goddess, draw the arms up overhead like you have a very large beach ball in your hands. Press outward with the knees so that they're not just collapsing in. Inhale, press up with the toes. Spin those toes back towards the long side of your mat, and you're back in your 5-pointed star. From here, turn the left toes towards the top of the mat. Back foot spins in slightly, and we come into our warrior two on the left side. From warrior two, inhale the right arm up. You're now in warrior one, hips dropping. In your warrior one, we'll prepare for humble warrior on the left side, maybe switching the grip of your hands behind you. Inhale, drawing the fists down, opening up the chest, looking towards the sky. Exhale, folding the chest over the inside of the left knee, allowing the head to hang down and the arms come overhead. On an inhale, come up and center the torso over the top of the left knee. Gently release the hands. Come back. You're in low lunge on the left side. From low lunge, let's step that left foot back, and we're in plank. Find your steadiness here in plank pose, and we will set up for our side plank on the left side, Vasisthasana. Roll onto the outside of the left foot, maybe stacking the right foot on top. If you would like support today, go ahead and drop that left knee to the ground. This is also a great place to be. Hips continue to rise towards the sky, lifting that side body. If you feel like you want a challenge, lift the right leg. If you want to try a further challenge, you could try extended side angle pose. Maybe grab the right toe and lift. From here, gracefully come back into plank, lower the right foot down, and roll over into plank. In your plank pose, vinyasa, lower down. Inhale up, and exhale into your downward facing dog. From downward dog, inhale the left foot up, bend the left knee, draw it in towards the chest, tucking, 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 rounding the upper back as we draw the foot in between the two hands. And we're in low lunge on the left side. From low lunge, take the hands and bring them about 6 inches in front of the left foot. Prepare for standing splits on the left. Push into that left foot. Inhale, exhale. Lower the chest towards the chin. Maybe grabbing that left shin. Reaching the right leg up to the sky. It doesn't have to be very high. Your left leg can also be bent if you're not able to straighten at this time. On our next inhale, softly land that back foot to the ground. Push up into your crescent pose on the left side. Very good. From crescent, open up into your warrior two. Exhale, windmill the arms in your low lunge, and then step back into your vinyasa. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale into your downward dog. From downward dog, we're going to lower into our forearm plank. So maybe walk yourself out about 6 inches or so, and then lower down to your forearms. Hands can be flat on the mat, and you can also entwine your palms as well. Fold your fingers. Sometimes that feels like you have a little bit more strength in that pose. In our forearm plank, we're going to do a few forearm plank to dolphin poses here. So engage through that lower body. Press down with your arms. Widen out the shoulders and the back. And walk the feet in until you're in dolphin. Inhale. Exhale, walk the feet back out until you're in your forearm plank. Inhale. Exhale, walk the feet in until you're in dolphin. Press into those arms. Gaze comes back. Inhale, walk out to your forearm plank. Exhale into your dolphin pose. Inhale back to our forearm plank. And one more time. Walk back into dolphin. Very good. Walk your feet out until you're in forearm plank. And then go ahead and push yourself up. Walk your knees in a little bit and come into tabletop. Whew, I'm sweating already. From tabletop, we're going to stretch our shoulders a little and open up and prepare for puppy pose. Hands are just underneath the shoulders and the knees are hip width apart. From here, go ahead and walk the hands out further on your mat. And we'll just do a nice passive puppy pose today, either just lowering your forehead to the earth, or if you feel like you would want to have your chin resting on the mat, you can open up there as well. It's a little bit deeper on the shoulders. Allow the chest to drop towards the mat. Still keeping a slight engagement into the core, pulling in with the belly button, slightly tucking the tailbone. This feels really good after all of those push-ups. On the next inhale, push into your hands and come back to your tabletop. Great. Let's swing our legs around, tuck them underneath you, and we will lower our backs to the mat and set up for bridge pose. Draw your heels in, maybe just slightly outside of the reach of your fingertips. From here, start to tuck the tailbone up and draw the hips toward the sky. Pulling the heels back towards you. Letting the chin tuck slightly. The chest aims upward and also just slightly back. From here, you can start to walk your shoulders in. Stretching out in those shoulders even more. Pressing into the mat with your arms. Nice long deep breaths. Just awakening the back line of the body. From here, open up the shoulders. And you can start to lower down onto your mat, one spine, a vertebrae at a time. Very nice. And from here, we're going to go back into bridge pose. You have the option, you can either stay in bridge pose or you can join me up in wheel. I'll talk you through wheel as we start that. If it is something that you're just not feeling today, go ahead and stay in your bridge pose. You can take it as a bridge or as a restorative shoulder and chest opener and bring the shoulders underneath you like we have just done. So again, starting in bridge with the hands down and start to roll the tailbone up, pushing the hips towards the sky. Just a nice breath here. Again, stay here if you would like. If you feel like you have the energy and it's in your practice, we can take wheel. In wheel, bring the hands alongside the ears. The fingertips are facing the same direction as your toes. Moving your ponytail if you have one in the way. From this position, we press firmly into your hands, maybe just coming up to the very top of your head. If you feel that you want to progress, press firmly into the hands, pressing down into the mat. From here, engage through your hips. Pressing your chest forward, opening up into the shoulders. Maybe walking the feet in a little. Engaging through those thighs. A nice inhale. On the exhale, start to walk the feet out. Make a little more room for your body as you lower. Bend the forearms. Slowly rest the head on the mat. And lower softly back down. Now, whether you were in wheel pose or if you were still in bridge, we'll go ahead and do some windshield wipers with the knees. Allow the feet to spread a little bit wider on your mat, and then take both knees and allow them to drop over to the left. Inhale up, exhale towards the right. Inhale the knees back up to center. We'll do that a couple more times. You can do it at your pace. faster or slower. If you did come into wheel pose, just try not to do anything too jarring immediately after doing that deep back bend. All right, great. Knees come back up towards the sky with the soles of the feet flat on the earth, and we'll do a supine pigeon. Draw the right foot, the right ankle over the left knee, and pull that left leg in. Hands can come into the back of the thigh or maybe the front of the shin. Use the right elbow to push into the left leg, hope to open up into that hip flexor a little bit more. Right foot stays flexed. Inhale, release the left leg. Uncross the legs. Start to draw the left foot over the right side, and we'll have supine pigeon on the left side. Draw the right leg in with the hands. The tailbone and the spine stay firmly planted into the mat here. We're targeting that stretch in the hips. One more breath here. And on the exhale, go ahead and release. Legs can come out long on the mat. Allow the feet to drop open and the hands to come out wide as you take your Savasana. Take a moment here to drop down into each portion of the body. Kind of reevaluate how you are now versus when you started. Feel the length in the neck. Acknowledge the strength that your shoulders and your upper back provided you today. Give a thank you to your body for showing up for this practice, for putting in the effort. Whatever form your practice takes, it matters that you're showing up and that you're here and you're giving it an effort. Couple more deep breaths in and out. On the next inhale, reach the arms overhead, stretch it out. Maybe point the toes, really stretch it long, and release. Flutter the eyes open. From here, you can come onto your side or maybe roll up to a seated position and come back to the center of your mat. Well, that's it for today. Again, thank you for showing up for your practice and taking the time and energy to complete this with me today. It was a little longer one and definitely more challenging, so it was great if you made it through it. Enjoy the rest of the day. Great work.